Hello everyone, welcome to Southern Wreaths. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I made this really cute, really simple bee wreath. These are the supplies I'm going to use to make this wreath. I'm going to start by adding pipe cleaners to my wire frame. I use 14 ties. I'm going to start on the center and go around 2 rings, and I'm going to add a pipe cleaner at each crossbar. I'm twisting 3 times just to make sure it's secure, and I'm doing it pretty tight. And then for the outside, I'm just going to start at any random crossbar, again twisting 3 times, and then I'll lay the pipe cleaner along the second ring. And where that pipe cleaner ends, I'm adding my next one, and I'll do this going all the way around. If you do this right, it should line up almost perfect where the last pipe cleaner lays down with the first. And then once I finish that, I'm going to go through and quickly open up all of my ties, just so it's easier when I'm going around and making my poofs. I'm using a 21-inch jute mesh. This mesh is really sturdy, so it's really great for making poofs. It's not super flimsy. So I just like to gather it at the end, and then I'm going to start where one is connected, where a pipe cleaner is connected to a crossbar. And I'm going to tuck it through, and then I'm going to attach it with a zip tie. I'm wrapping around the second wire and around where the pipe cleaner is, and that way it's going to stay in place. It's not going to slide up and down the frame. And then I'll just trim that away once I tighten it. I forgot to cut away the back. You don't have to, but I like my wreath to sit flat while I'm working on it, and if you don't trim it away, it rocks. Okay, so I'm just going to use my mat to help me measure. You don't necessarily have to do that, especially if you've done it a few times. You kind of feel how big you're making your poofs. But I'm doing 12-inch poofs, and I'm just measuring from 18 to 6. And then I just add it into my pipe cleaner, and I'm twisting 1.5 times. The reason I add that half twist is because sometimes my pipe cleaners will come undone, and that just keeps them from coming unraveled. And I do like to fluff my poofs as I go. So you'll see after I twist it, and I'm twisting pretty tight because I'm not going to open this again. I'm just adding ribbon. I just put my hands on either end and I pull it out, and I just make sure it's really spread across. And you'll do the same thing all the way around. Once you get to the end, I'm going to show you how to attach it to that first tie that was underneath everything, and you just pull it around where you started and then just attach it that way. It is pretty thick because it's got 2 layers of mesh. And then I'm just going to push the pipe cleaners out of the way and then open the center ones. I like to pull the mesh up into the first center pipe cleaner that's closest to where I ended. And then I'm just twisting once, and this just pulls it to the center to where I don't have a poof coming diagonally. And then I'll just continue making my 12-inch poofs. And I'll do this going all the way around. And then once I get to the end, I open the tie that I just did, with the first poof, and then I'm just adding that one in. So it pretty much has 2 poofs into 1 tie. But it just makes it seamless where there's no beginning or end. It's all a circle. And then I'll just gather it and trim it away. And then I'll pull apart 2 poofs, and I'll push it in between to go to the back of the wreath. And then I'll just attach with a zip tie, just like I did at the beginning. It's not too important to attach it to a crossbar at this point. You just want to make sure it's not going to go anywhere. So you want to pull it as tight as possible. And I only go around 1 bar, because if you go around 2, it could still slide out. And I do trim away that excess mesh as well, just so it sits flat. And that's just a basic poof mesh wreath. So you can make that with any kind of mesh that's 21 inches. You don't want to do it with something that's super see-through unless you're planning on putting ruffles or curls on top. With this, you can't really see through it very well. And then when I add the ribbon, you really can't see through it. And I'm just going to go through and fluff up all my poofs and make sure they look right. Alright, these are the 3 ribbons I'm using to make this wreath, and I'm just going to open this one. And I'm going to show you how I use my cardboard to cut my ribbon at 12 inches. And you can cut at any length, just cut your cardboard at that size. And I'm just going to use the natural fold that it's already got there, but you don't have to do that. And I basically just wrap it around 7 times. And I'm going to do that twice because I need a piece of ribbon in each section because I'm going to put all 3 in each one. And then once I have it all wrapped around, I'm just going to slide my scissors and then cut it. And then do the same thing to the other side. And then I do like to dovetail my ribbons, especially the big ones, the 2.5 inches, 2.5 inch. And you do that by just folding it and then cutting from the wire to the crease. It's not necessary. I just like the way the ribbon looks when it's all finished, and it just gives it just something different. It's not all square and boring. But you could also do angle cut or pretty much anything you wanted to do. Now I'll go through and cut all of my ribbon, and then I like to stack it the way I'm putting it on the wreath. This just makes my life easier. And then I'll fold it in half to find the center. I'll crease it, and then I pinch at that crease. And then I'm just going to add it into the pipe cleaner. I'm twisting 3 times, again pretty tightly. And then I just like to take a glue stick or a pin and I roll down the pipe cleaner. I just like the way that looks. You could also tuck it to the back or cut it away if you'd like. And then I just spread it out. I usually have 1 ribbon that goes straight across, and I have 3, and then 2 that make an X. But you can alternate which ones do that. I just thought it was okay to do the 2.5 inch straight across, and then the rest can be X's. But you can always mix and match it any way you want it to be. I don't really like to cut away my pipe cleaners because if for some reason when I'm done with my wreath I don't like something, I can go back and change it and I don't have to worry about not having enough to work with. So I just roll them down. And if you use like the sparkly tinsel kind, it can be a part of your wreath. It becomes like part of the decoration. Okay, I'm going to show you how I do the outside ones. I add them the exact same way as the top. And for this particular wreath, with it having 3 ribbons, I'm going to fluff it the exact same way. So I do the white one across, and then I'm making an X with the 2 1.5 inch ribbons. And I'll show you what it looks like after I get it fluffed. Okay, so after I finished doing all of my ribbons, I go through and I'm kind of pulling some ribbon to the center because I noticed that it was kind of bare. At this point, this is when you would add your bow or a sign or any other decorations. This is a custom wreath, and this is just what she wanted. She just wants a base. But that's it. That's how you make this bee poof wreath. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Or you can always email me at craftingwithlee@yahoo.com. Thank y'all so much for watching. And if you enjoyed my video or learned anything today, please like, share, and subscribe. And please leave it a thumbs up. Thank you.